Hi guys, this is Oyen. I'm just making this video just in response to Haroon. Haroon sent me an email about a question on variances. So, 1 second, let me just see if this pen is working. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? The pen has disappeared. Oh, here we are. So let me just clear that out. So, oops, sorry, I thought I got that cleared. Eraser. So Haroon sent me a question on variances, and the question, if you can turn, it's on page 117 in your 117, and it's part B on that page. I think it's a mock paper, variance analysis. So let me just write down very quickly what the scenario is. Here, it says here you have activity. You have here. Oh, sorry, what's going on? You have here. You have here activity, and you have items produced. You have kilograms used, and you have cost. Okay, and this is your budget. Yeah, so your budget. And you have 3,000 here, and then you have 4,500 here, and then you have 9,000 here. So I'm going to do it this way so that hopefully it sticks in your mind. I'm not even going to talk about what's happening in the actual just yet. The question is, what is the purpose of this information over here? The purpose here is to tell you what the standard input was to make a unit and what the standard cost was to buy a kilogram. That's what you need this information for. Remember that you could have, if I wanted to, this is all variable, so I could multiply this by 2, and therefore that would multiply this by 2, that would multiply this by 2. I would still arrive at the same standard. So if the question is, well, how many kilograms did I need to make a unit? Well, I would divide, 4,500 by 3,000. That's what I would do, wouldn't I? If I wanted to know how many kilograms, I would go, well, 4,500 divided by 3,000 units or items, right? So, and that, if you like, divided by 30 is equal to, so I know I need 1.5 kilograms. This is what I should be using to make a unit. And I guess the question is, well, how much am I expecting each kilogram to cost? Well, you can see it's this 9,000. You bought 4,500 kilograms for 9,000 pounds. So if you bought 4,500 kilograms for 9,000 pounds, it should be costing you £2 a kilogram. I know that when I'm talking to the production manager, my focus is on this issue here. And when I'm talking to the guy who's buying the kilograms in for production, I know it should be this guy. Okay, now they tell us that you made 2,000 items. So therefore, if you made 2,000 items, right, I'm just going to, before I even talk about the SPAC and the APAQ, if you made 2,000 items, well, we expect you to use 1.5 kilograms times 2,000 units, right? So that means we're expecting you to have used, you should have used 3,000 kilograms. Oh, sorry, I don't know what's going on today. You should have used 3,000 kilograms to make 2,000 items. And if you've used 3,000 kilograms and you're paying £2 a kilogram, we're expecting you to spend £6,000. This is what we are expecting. This is what you should have used to make 2,000 items. Now, what did you go and do? You went along and they now give you what you actually did. They tell you used 4,500 kilograms, which must already jump out at you and think, if we expected you to use 4,000 for 3,000 and used 4,000 for 4,500 for 2,000, well, that's a serious degree of inefficiency there already, right? You used 4,500 kilograms and you spent 9,210. So, when it comes to, these are my standards, right? In terms of my standards, if you like, this is kind of where I'm going. So, if I now flick onto my next page, just to sort of see what's important, you can see that this is what's important really right now. In terms of, these are my figures that I'm sort of focused on right now. This is what I'm comparing. This is what I'm trying to compare. This is stable. right? It's all flexed. This is irrelevant. This was only irrelevant when it came to us finding out what we needed to know per kilogram per unit. Well, again, some more information if you really want to break this down for your own understanding. Well, if you used 4,500 kilograms on 2,000 items, well, that means that using this blue pen now, that means that you used 4,500 divided by 2,000. You used 2.25 kilograms per unit. So that's one way of looking at it, if you like, right? And you can see you have a variance again. And if you use per unit, if you subtract this from this, you still have to multiply by 2,000 because that's what you're interested in, the number in terms of totals for 2,000, and then multiply it by standard cost. In terms of how much did you pay for each kilogram, it would be the 9,200 divided by the 4,500. Okay, so now let's go into SPAC, because this is the key idea. So I've told you that what we do is we have where the question says, what is the standard raw material cost of production? The very first slide, that's your SPSQ. So going back, that I'm trying to make 2,000 items. So I'm trying to make 2,000 items. Right? That's the kind of the issue here. And in terms of kilograms used, I'm expecting you to use 1.5 kilograms. Oops, sorry. I'm expecting you to use 1.5 kilograms, and I'm expecting each of those kilograms to cost £2 times 2. I mean, that's how I arrive at this 6,000 here, isn't it? So 2 times 1.5 times 3. So if you like, you can argue that the SQ, the standard quantity, I'm talking about inputs, yes? The standard quantity must be the 1.5 times 2,000. I'm expecting you to spend 3,000 kilograms. So you could argue that this is £2 times 3,000 kilograms. So that's your SQ, and that's your standard price of each kilogram. Right, so let me come over here. Let me come over here and say my APAQ. Well, you actually spent 9,210. So I know already, I know this, my total answer here is 6,000, right? I know already that my total here is 9,210. So, I know that you used 4,500 kilograms, and, actual quantity used, you used 4,500 kilograms, and therefore you paid 9,210 divided by 4,500. So you technically paid, you paid £2, and let's just say, I would probably just leave that in the computer as 2.0466. You don't really need to break it up that way, but it's better. Just keep it in the computer as that. Don't round up so that it messes everything up. That's what you did, right? 9,210. So I found my AP and AQ must come from what I actually did spend to make 2,000 kilograms. I'm talking about inputs again, right? I know I keep emphasizing this, but this is really important. I used 4,500 kilograms to make 2,000 units. Right? I could break this down further into the number of units, because I could decide to break this 4,500 into, if you like, I've already done it in the previous slide. So I could do this, right? I could do 2 times 2.25 times 2,000 items, right? Because that's exactly what happened, isn't it? That's what I paid per kilogram. That's how many kilograms I used, and that's the number of items. So now here is the SPAC, and SPAC just helps us split this up. SPAC helps us to compare and sort of say, well, okay, since we want to just focus on the in terms of efficiency or in terms of usage, we don't want to punish the person who's using the items. We don't, because he has no power over how much we pay. So the question simply is, well, what was standard price? Well, standard price is £2. Let's just compare actual quantity with standard quantity in making 2,000 units. And standard price was £2, and actual quantity to make 2,000 items was 4,500. 9,200, which brings us to 9,000. Right? So you can see the truth is I really didn't need to break this side up. I could have left it at this. Sorry, so very jumpy today. I could have left it at 9,200. I just done it just to show you. So that's your standard price and that's your actual quantity. So what you really needed was to find out what the standard price was, multiplied by the actual quantity of kilograms needed to make 2,000 units. Now I can compare. So that's my price, because here, if you notice, this, when I compare these two, I'm comparing actual price with standard price. Actual quantity is the same. I'm judging this guy purely on the purchasing of the material. I mean, they are connected, of course, but this is how I separate the two. This is bad, of course, because we thought you'd use 6,000. I mean, you can see it. 3,000 kilograms versus 4,500 kilograms is ridiculous. So you will have a 3,000 pound variance, of course, first, in terms of inefficient variance, in terms of usage. So 3,000 negative, so to speak. And this is even worse by another 210. Because it's gone from 9,000 to 9,210. So your total variance, if you like, is the 3,000 negative plus the 2,010 even more negative. So you have 3,210 overall, which is your material cost variance. Negative, right? This is all negative. So please walk through this example, and just for your own mind, try again and understand exactly where you're trying to go. This, when we say actual quantity of kilograms used to make 2,000 units. Quantity of kilograms you would expect you to use to make 2,000 units based on the very initial budget you were given to work out what the number of kilograms you need to make per unit. Standard price is given to you based on how much we thought you would spend overall on the kilograms, as the same thing here. This one, we can just break this up based on the actual events actually happening. Okay, great stuff. I hope that helps. So, go back again, do this question again, do the 85 to 92 questions, question 85 to 92, they're very good. They're all the same thing. This is just repetitive. Do it over and over and again until you make sure you're comfortable. Okay, great stuff. Thank you. Bye-bye.